This video was sponsored by Enhance, NeoWatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter.
Yo, what's up? This is Kia EV4. It's the EV3's twin brother or sister or whatever you should call it. They have the same battery, the same drivetrain, same headlights, pretty much the same stuff in there. But the EV3 is like the baby EV9, right? Whereas this EV4 is more like the baby EV6. It's lower and longer, more aerodynamic, more of a driver's car, except for that it's front-wheel drive, so it's not a driver's car. But yeah, so I charged it to 100%. I'm going to do a Sunday drive. Yeah, you see here we have the Jowa. I can show you. Jowa holder. Well, I have to actually do this and then there, you see? Oh yeah, phone holder. And then of course you're supposed to just do it like this, when you put it in there. Then it charges wirelessly. So you want to see here, car scanner reports that we are at 100%. And then that's actually 93.5 true state of charge. Battery is nice and warm-ish. 75.3 kilowatt hour reported. Okay, we'll see how much we actually get out of this. So Sunday drive route today is going to be like this. I'm not going to go the north loop because it's kind of cold. So I will go the south loop this time for once. I go via Ski and then Askim and then actually into, this is the route to Stockholm, but then I'll go to Karlstad and then take the, wait, here I think, yeah. And then take the E45, Inlandsvägen to Torsby and then back here via Kongsvinger. Well, I sound like an airplane pilot. I'm gonna take it up to 30,000 feet and then head 145 degrees. Okay, whatever. All right, whatever. So we're gonna do all the preparation and then we go for it. And then the car reports 508 kilometers. Okay, let's see how far we can go with this beast from the east. All right, we're on the move. So as always, we are slow poking at 80 kilometers per hour on the speedo. That's 77 GPS speed in the 110 zone. Yes, and it's actually not that cold outside. Well, I mean, 7 degrees. Yeah. So eventually there'll be some sun, but I have HVAC off now. Because remember that no fans is always better than only fans. We just passed Ski now. We were driving for almost an hour and look at the consumption, 116 watt-hour per kilometer. That is in Tesla territory. Wow! And it's even only 8 degrees Celsius outside. Holy macaroni, this car is efficient. Korean cars, as long as you drive slow, then they're really efficient. Yeah. So yeah, now we are on this B road. This is actually the main road between Oslo and Stockholm. Yeah, the two capitals of Norway and Sweden. So yeah, it's not that great road. Actually, from Oslo to Göteborg, which is south of Oslo here, when I do the 1,000 kilometer challenge, we have autobahn all the way, but seems like connection between the two capitals are not that important. Maybe Göteborg should have been the capital of Sweden. Oh no. We are now on E45, also called Inlandsvägen or the Inland Road. So there are several routes to Lapland, and this is one of them, which goes into the, well, in the country, not by the coast. So we just passed Grums. We are heading back north again. And so far we have done 250 kilometers. We're still at 62%, but remember that the state of charge scale in the Korean cars, they're non-linear, so this is more like 57, 58% maybe. But it seems like Can we actually go 600 kilometers? Oh shit. I don't know if I have time for that because it's already 1 in the afternoon and I should pick up the kids at the kindergarten in around 3 hours. So yeah, consumption is 127 watt hour per kilometer, but it should drop because we should have some tailwind. So now I'm just gonna enjoy the nice Swedish farm landscape here. And the spring, yeah, you can see on the flag there, the Swedish flag there, that we have tailwind. Oh yeah, nice. When it comes to the auto steer here, man, let me see if I can show you. It goes left and right all the time, pulsates slightly left and right, not that much, but even if the road is going quite straight, it still goes a bit left and right. So, well, I guess it's still okay. We still have auto steer and lane change. What is kind of annoying is that now we have cruise control, everything active. If we disable cruise control here, okay, the auto steer is still active. So as far as I know, I haven't found a place where you can link it. So you have to press this button to disengage auto steer. But you see then the lane, emergency lane is active. So if I press and hold this button here, okay, there, it would turn orange. Now it is disabled until you re-enable cruise control and then auto steer, and then when you disable cruise control, then auto steer is still active. But if you just press once to disable the auto steer, then you see that the emergency lane is active. So can I just keep it like this, at least for the whole drive, and then link the auto steer with the cruise control? That'd be great. Yeah. We're getting close to Kongsvinger and it's already past 3 in the afternoon. So I realized I cannot drive the car until it's almost empty, at least before I pick up the kids. So maybe we'll do a night run then, or an evening run rather, for the remaining. We just want to go deep and see how far we can go. Can we actually hit over 600 kilometers? Consumption is a bit higher now. I think we are in the highland, so yeah, eventually we'll get down the lower land and then the consumption will be better. But we have some headwind over here, so well, eventually we need to go back to the starting point. So these twisty roads, they haven't changed in a long time, or I don't know. But last time I was here was in 2019 with my Tesla Model 3 Performance MC Hammer. Yeah, on my way to Lapland. So that means 7 years ago. Wow, time flies. But how is the handling of this EV4? Is it sportier than the EV3? Yes, absolutely. But I have that, how to put this, that feel with front wheel drive, that when you accelerate, the nose goes slightly up, and when you decelerate or regen, the nose dips slightly down. So, and that of course with just the feeling that you have power in the front wheel, not the back. But I mean, it's still okay. It feels not so boat, but I still feel like it's kind of bouncy. But I probably just try to make it comfortable, not too harsh over the bumps. So feel like even my classic Soul feels quite nimble, light, and also not so bouncy, so and not so boat. So this is actually similar to the classic Soul in a way, except for that we have way more range than the Soul, the classic Soul, and also this EV4 seems to actually be more efficient. Well, we are home. I'm gonna park the car in the garage for now, but we have to check the stats first. Yeah, there are some cars parked over here. Not my car, well, except for the Kia Soul. So far we've done 452 kilometers, 126 watt-hour per kilometer, and we still have 30% left. So I need to park in the garage for possibly 4 to 5 hours. We'll see until I can run again after the kids are in bed. So 20,630 watt-hour left and 30%. Okay. It's now 21:36. The kids are asleep. I had some evening food before I came out here. But yeah, so here, still the same energy, right? Battery temperature seems to have been actually quite stable also, so that's good. And then when it comes to distance, by the way, real distance is supposed to be 459 kilometers. So this car actually underreports by 1.5%. We're gonna correct for that, of course. And then, you see here, in Home now, it's 6 degrees Celsius, but supposedly in Oslo it's 10 degrees. Okay, I guess we'll head south towards Oslo, take a little loop there. Wanna try to drive on warm as possible places, and then we turn around and head north again. So we still have 30 kilometers or I don't know, 174 kilometers of range left. Wow, this is gonna take a while. We are now in Alnabru, Oslo, and guess what? It's 8 degrees. Well, actually 8.5 degrees. Wow, nice and warm for a spring night. So maybe I'll just stick around Oslo for a bit then, because in Jessheim now it's 6 degrees, so I don't want too cold, because that means more drag or higher consumption, even though we're actually still running no fans, no heater. Yes, slight fog in the inside here, but that's still fine. Okay. Bugs me. It's like Asian car beeping at you all the time, man. All right, we're almost done now. We're down to 8%. It's 3 degrees Celsius outside, so it's getting cold in the cabin. I still have HVAC off. We have to drive another 32 kilometers to get home, and then we have 42 kilometers on the GOM, or we have 5.5 kilowatt hour. Start getting some power limit, 159 kilowatt, but that's still okay. Yeah. All right, just want to go deep and measure how many kilowatt hour we can actually get out of this, if it corresponds to what we initially had this morning. And to stay somewhat warm, I use the seat heater on one, and also the steering wheel heater is one. It actually has 2 levels on the steering wheel heater. Oh, nice. And then, okay, as most cars, 3 levels on the seat heater. So this will be okay. We're done with the test. Back in the garage, safe. 608.5 kilometers driven, 126 watt-hour per kilometer, and you see that in the night run, the consumption was 127 watt-hour per kilometer, so slightly higher than the day run only, so that's pretty good. Seems like even at low temperature, the consumption doesn't go up that much. And then we have 2% left, or 1.3 kilowatt-hour left, so I can calculate everything now. So based on the test today, I measured that we have 78 kilowatt hour on this battery. Yeah, very good. So cars can claim 75.3 kilowatt hour, but we cannot trust that, supposedly. And then the corrected consumption was actually 124 watt hour per kilometer only. So this EV4 is a lot more efficient than the EV3, because the EV3 is boxier. And then today we will have gotten 629 kilometers of range. So that's slightly more than VLTP, but you know, we need warmer weather for the efficiency to become even better. So overall though, very impressive range and actually good comfort. And well, what else is it? Overall, nice car, nice seats. I'm not butt hurt yet. And then we should see then how much faster will this car be in the 1,000 kilometer challenge. It has the same battery as the EV3, but it's more efficient. So then it should be significantly faster, right? We'll see. That's going to be for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.